Hey, how's it going? My name's Steve Bridges, and I teach BTEC 101 at Whatcom Community College, and that's what this video is about. It's going to go over getting set up with the book, which is an ebook, getting set up with the learning platform that we use, which is something called MindTap, and I think I'm going to go into my class and go through the first parts of the first assignment to kind of hopefully at least clear up any confusion because it's not the most user friendly system in the world, but it's what we got. And I'm also going to be referencing here and there to other instructors' classes, specifically Kate Baker's, in case you found your way here from her. Her class runs virtually identically to mine, but there's a couple of differences in assignments that we do. So what I'm going to do now is pause this video, get everything set up, and I will be right back. Okay, I've got the Canvas page opened up. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to look at this thing. Okay, these are all the classes I teach. There's a lot. This is one we're concerned about is BTEC 1. Click that, and I'm going to switch to student view so that we can see what you guys will see when you get here. It just looks just like this. Looks very much similar to mine. I'm going to have to switch back to mine because some technical issues, but this is what it'll look like. First thing you want to do is click on the syllabus here after you've already clicked this, which you're probably watching this video from that. Okay, so we go to the syllabus, and this link right here will take us to the textbook and to the learning platform. The thing is, though, it doesn't take us to the one we need initially. And what I mean by that is, it takes you to the cheap one. You need the one that's a little bit more pricey. So load this up. And it connects here, and you see like the e-textbook, right, is the cheapest is $50. This is not what we need. And I'm sorry about that, but we do use this learning platform. And it's this one you need here, the one that has MindTap. MindTap is really like the key here to what you need. And once you just click on that, we'll add it to your cart and then check out from there. Pretty much just like your standard purchase of anything online. And then, yeah, and once you do that, the course is tied on the Canvas side to MindTap. So once you have access to that, you will just log in and it'll take you right to the course materials. And I'll show you what I mean by that. And this is where I'm going to have to leave student because I can't connect otherwise. Okay, so we're back here in the class, and you've got the book, and you've got your Cengage MindTap account set up. Once you click on any of these that have a link to them, see this little chain here? It's like a hyperlink. I'll just click on the first word module because that's where the first homework is. Once you click on this, it will automatically, once you've logged into, once you've linked those accounts and logged into Cengage, once you click on this, it will take you directly to the book. Again, mine is going to go there. You may have to log in that first time. After that, it's going to be here. This is going to look very similar to what you're going to see. Of course, you're not going to have the class grades here. I'm doing this before the class starts, so everybody's got a zero. Nobody's turned anything in. And it'll look a little bit different than this, but you will see these modules here. And for my class, I have 3 Word modules, I have 5 Excel, and I have 2 PowerPoint. Kate's is very similar to mine. I think you may have 1 more PowerPoint, 1 less Excel, something like that. It's, again, very similar. That's what the class does. It looks at Word, it looks at Excel, and it looks at PowerPoint. One thing that I mentioned right at the start is that this is a course that's designed for Windows computers. If you have a Mac, you can do the class. There can be a little bit of functionality that you might have some issues with. There are workarounds around that. That if you need any help with that, you can come talk to me. Send me a message on Canvas and we'll talk about it. And any of the computers, if you're working through VMware or on campus, those are all Windows-based computers, so those will all work. Okay, so now I'm going to close this again just to kind of go back to Canvas and show you how the course works. Don't need this anymore, so I'm going to close it, and I'm going to close this MindTap. If you've gone in and clicked that link, you have to reload the page if you want to go back to that link. Fine, but you have to do that. Okay, so let's now look at what you're actually doing for the homework and what you're doing every week. And for me, it is the textbook project, the SAM training, and these two into module projects. Kate's is a little bit different, but they're very similar. So the thing about this is that the chapter and the textbook problem, or excuse me, textbook project are linked. They work together. The instructions for the textbook project, that's what your chapter is. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click back here, and you can see all these weeks are exactly the same. And excuse me. And you click on hyperlink, and it'll take you to the chapter, or it'll take you to the module. And sometimes it's not the quickest thing in the world, but it gets there eventually. So we get here, we click here, and that one that looks like, see, kind of looks like a little book there. We want to click on that because this is our textbook. Loads up, and here is, there's your textbook, chapter 1, 1-1, 2, 3. And as you read through these chapters here, it will give you a little project to do and sort of work through as you're reading the chapter. Now, files you will need here. These are a lot more files than you actually will need for the homework for my course, and I think for Kate's as well. So you actually don't need to worry about these. All the files that you need will be included with the projects themselves. And I'll show you what I mean by that right now. So we go here, we see, hey, this is, it starts out very basically. If you've used Word in the past, it's going to be very base level stuff. If you haven't, it's how you get started. There's people who have different skill levels who take this class. So I've got some stuff that's more starter, and then more stuff that is, once you know what you're doing. But yeah, so as you go through here, Word WD 1-1, it's sort of talking about how Word works. And then you get here, and here is the project. Now you see SAM, MindTap, Cengage. It's all the same thing, and it's all tied to this learning platform. So what we're going to need now is to start Word, and we're going to need a blank document. So if you have Word, you can open up a Word file. I have Word right here. Then as the textbook goes, it's giving you things to do. Move the mouse pointer around the word. Again, very, very starter. Hey, I'm moving the mouse. You've done. Here, place the mouse button over a button on the ribbon. This is what's known as the ribbon. Hey, I'm doing that, right? So this is pretty starter stuff. And then I'm going to go a couple more pages. It's going to actually give me some tasks to do with this chapter. Now, I've read all this stuff before, so I'm not going to read it again, and you can read it. If you are versed in Word, you can probably start at about 1-3. So here we're going to go. And this is, again, it's telling you exactly what to do. But this is where, as I pointed out, here is the textbook project and the chapter are linked. And we're going to be using a file from the textbook project in the second half of this particular chapter. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go in here. We're going to follow these along. And JCL Talent, enter twice, type 2, tab twice. So it is just following along here in these steps. Let's see, JCL Talent. Twice, I believe. Enter twice, and then type 2, and tab twice. So I'm going to do these first ones. Tab. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause the video and go through the rest of this assignment on my own. This is all stuff that, if you can type, you can do it. Again, if you have any questions, of course, ask me, but so this is pretty straightforward stuff. So I'm going to go through the rest of this first part of the assignment off camera, and that's going to take us to, I believe, 1-7. Let's see here. Yes, 1-7, and this is where we'll need to start using those data files, and I'll show you where they're at. But I'm going to pause it now, finish up first part of the assignment and then come back and show you what I did and then switch to the second part. I can do that. Okay, I have completed that task. It took me about, I don't know, a couple minutes, not too long. And now I'm going to share my screen. So here's this completed little memo here. I've got it saved. And one thing to be really aware of is when you're saving these is that the MyTab program will be really particular about what you name things. It won't accept it if it's not saved just so. So make sure that you get the name exactly how it asks, or else it might not take it. Okay, so there's that part. And this is part one of the assignment complete. And the next part is going to be more like how the rest of the homeworks are going to work. And let me show you what that is. So here, bring back textbook. And so now we're on 1-7. I have completed through 1-6. And this is where we're going to get the documents that we're going to need to do the rest of the homework. It says SAM, click File tab, SPC. You don't have to do any of this. This is all you have to do. Is you go in here and you click on the SAM project, SAM textbook project. It'll open up a new window. Again, if it's all linked, it'll go right to it. And then you get to this when it loads. I call this the pink screen. It's not really pink. That's what I call it. And you'll have some options here. You don't need to do this. What you need to do here is take a look in the fact that you get 3 attempts at each of these, and you have so you have 3 submissions. And I haven't turned it in yet, so of course I have all 3 remaining. You click Start, and then here are the files that you will need. And here, like, it's this is a blank file, or this one here I think is a blank file, and here's a support file for the document we'll need. I think this is all we need. So we're going to go back to the textbook. Go back to the textbook, and we're going to get ILWD 1-1. So we just go over here, hit this guy, and I'm just going to go ahead and download all of them. My download files. So I'm going to open that up, and this, you may have to click Enable Editing. If you do, there it is. And then this is the next part of the assignment. And see, when we first started, it's chapter 1, section 1. So we started a document from scratch and did some work in there. Kind of here and the rest of the way out, we're going to be using materials that are already partially done by the textbook company. And then we're just going to edit these as they go, right? And so here, this is for the second part of the assignment. This is right here. So go in here. And now we're going to need this. This is where we're also going to turn it in. So I would recommend maybe even leaving this tab open. You can close it if you want, but you'll need to come back here to turn it in. We don't need that, but we do need this. Okay. And so it says to go in here to save it as tip sheet and to scroll down to the bottom of the document. Let's see, I'll do that, and then I will probably leave it to you guys to finish it out. So we're going to go here, save as, we're going to save it. I'll save it to my desktop. And we're going to call this, we're going to call it tip sheet. Yes, tip sheet. Yes, tip sheet. Okay. And so now it's called tip sheet. Hooray, hooray. Okay. So then you go through the rest of the assignment. Again, you're just reading the chapter, going along through the chapter, and doing what you need to do to this document. Let's see, we're going to scroll. Let's see. Replace your name in the first sentence, last paragraph. Where does it say? Right. Change that to you. I would put Steve Bridges, et cetera, et cetera. So again, here I'm going to pause the video and complete the assignment, and then I'm going to show you how to turn it in. And that'll be the first part of your homework that you'll do each week. Real quickly before I get to the submission, image that's inserted in the graphic here, and it has a separate file. This is where when we downloaded all previously, we had actually downloaded the support file. I'm going to show you. It's this one right here. It's wherever you save that. Like if I went to go get mine, it would be in my downloads. That's right there, right? So it's just wherever you have it saved, and that's what you will use for that assignment. And if there's any other ones that have support files like this one does here, make sure you just download those and download all when you do the assignment, and you'll get everything you need. Just make sure you know where you save it. Okay. Pause again, and then we'll turn it in. All right, I've completed the assignment, and I'm ready to turn it in. This is the good thing about this. A lot of these homeworks is that they'll show you what it's supposed to look like when it's done. So here's what it's supposed to look like when it's done, and there's mine. And I think it's right. I know I super paid close attention to it, but I did what it told me to do. And now I'm gonna just save it again for the heck of it, and I'm gonna turn it in. So I just have these two documents saved right here on my desktop. Actually, I should probably share my screen. You're gonna have to trust me that it looked like it was supposed to. Then we go back here. And now we don't actually even need the chapter anymore. Now that we're done with the assignment, we can go ahead and close that. We can go back to this the link from the assignment itself. And this is just drag and drop files here or click to browse files. Now you could drag right there. Or you could click there and then select them. It's not going to take this stuff because it doesn't have my name on it. Remember when I said before that they have to be really exact? This is exactly what I mean right here. So I'm going to go ahead, pause it, put my names on these files, and then we'll actually submit the assignment. Did I mean to do that? Oh, sure. Okay, I've gone in and I've put my name on it now. And we will now drag this one down here. It loaded it up, but it says upload all expected files. So it won't even let you turn it in until you've done both parts of the assignment. So there's memo. Also, if you notice here, I don't have the .dox. That's just the extension of the file or the type of file it is. You don't put .dox at the end of your file names. You just in. I'm gonna put this guy in here. What happened? A memo. It's on the tip sheet. Well, take a peek and see what it is. So we pause here. Check it. Here. Okay, I had a 1-1 on tip sheet. Again, if it's not exactly what it wants, it will be cranked. Okay, but I've got these files where they need to be. They're named the right thing, and now we're just going to submit it. And this is the first part of your homework each week, and you will be graded right away. You have 3 submissions. Let's see how I did. Open that up. And I got an 88. I didn't do it great. What did I miss? Let's see here. We'll go down here, and this is the good thing. Here is. Oh, I didn't finish. There were the other 2 headings that wanted the formatting. I didn't do those. I think that's all of them. Yeah, I sort of did the first subheading that way and didn't do the rest of them. There you go. But now I know because it tells you exactly what you've gotten wrong. So you can go through, use this sheet, and you can actually go down and see if you scroll down. See, I didn't go in and do this. It'll tells you where you messed up, and you can fix those, and you can resubmit it. And there you go. So for these, it's pretty easy to get a pretty good grade, just because it tells you exactly what you missed, and you have 3 chances to turn it in. Okay, so that is the first of the 4 assignments. The rest of them are not going to have this much explanation to them, but I am going to show you how they work. And I'm going to talk a little bit about one other type of assignment that Kate Baker's class has that mine doesn't. So once again, we're going to pause. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back on Canvas. and we've already done the textbook project, and we've submitted that. And so we're done with kind of these two chapters. We have a chapter for reference if we need it. The other things we're going to be doing are the training, the end of module projects. These work pretty much the same. I'll just show you one, and they work very similar to the textbook project, but I'll show you. The other sort of the difference here is the training. I'm going to click on this, and it's going to take me right there. So the training, this is, if you're a person who hasn't used Word or hasn't used any of the Office programs before, you may actually want to start with the training because it is very, very in-depth and it's very granular. Pink screen again, you press start. And what it does is it opens up a web page. This isn't Word, but it's a web page that works exactly like Word. And here you have 61 tasks. That's why I say they're very, very small tasks. And it goes through the stuff that's covered in the chapter, but with a more hands-on kind of way. You have three options here. Observe.
When you want to start working,
I don't know if you can hear the lady. She has a terrible voice.
Create a new blank document.
But there you go. So here it's showing you exactly what you want to do. Click the File tab, et cetera, right? And she's very detailed. If you can't hear the voice, you would be on yours. And this is just the observe part where we're just watching how this task is done if we were watching it on our screen. Again, this is for people who have never used this program before. If you have a lot of experience with Office, these are going to be kind of tedious just because they're so simple, a lot of them. But again, the class is for kind of people of different skill levels. So I have this in here. If you've done this stuff before, you can zip through it. So yeah, you have practice. So you can do that if you want to. That's where you will just kind of do the tasks that the program just showed you, or you can go straight to apply. Apply is where you're actually doing the task to be turned in. And so I need to go in here and then file and what I would say new blank document, right? And that's it. Like that's how quick these go. Like so there's 61 of them, so there's a lot, but that's like that basic and that simple. So just you just really, if it takes you 1 minute, it won't. It'll take you an hour to do, but it won't take that. Literally that took me 3 seconds to do. And if you've never seen this stuff before, it's going to be, it's going to show you exactly how to do the program. And so that is the training. That's the training for the rest of the assignments as well. One other assignment that I don't use that Kate's class does is there is a test section. The test works very similar to training, except that in the apply section here, in the training, you get unlimited attempts. In the test version or the exam, I forget what it's called, you get 3. But it covers the test basically covers exactly what the practice training did. So you've got that under control. The exam part will go really smooth. Okay, finally, you've got 2 more. I'm just gonna close this out. Finally, you've got 2 more assignments, and these are the end of module projects. Now these, because you've done the textbook project and you've done the training at this point, these are just applying those skills that you've learned. And these are also more self-contained homeworks. The instructions and the files themselves are all right in one spot to download in the right here. In pink screen, press start. Takes you to it. Here are the instructions. Here's the start file. And then there is a picture that you're going to be putting into. So that's the support file as well. Click download all. I'll go right to instructions and then tells you exactly what to do. Name it this, save it, save it like this. And then the project steps are exactly, you just do exactly, you follow the steps here. And when you're done, it will look like this. The one good thing about these is it does give you the example at the end to show you what it looks like. So, and in these, the projects, there will be all stuff that you've learned from each chapter. So you won't be surprised by anything. And there's 2 of those for mine each week. I'm not sure if Kate does those, but that's what I do. And I think that's going to be it. One final thing that Kate does that I don't, she does capstone assignments at the end of each section, like there's a Word capstone, Excel capstone. Those work exactly. I'm gonna close this out. Those work exactly like these, where here it would be the capstone projects instead of the end of module. You click here, pink screen, start button, get to work, and that pretty much covers it. Like I say, I don't have capstone projects. I kind of do week to week. I put in as much content as I can just to cover as much as I can with this course. So I don't have like tests or projects where you put things together. But that's how it works. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. Again, Steve Bridges, sbridges@whatcom.edu, or come see me up on the third floor of the Learning Commons. I'm there usually Monday through Thursday, 11:30 to. All right. Have a great quarter, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Yeah. And this.